Welcome to Be the Boss, where we empower you to put on your big girl panties, tap into your inner goddess, and regain your power. Join me as I dive deep into mindset training, expansion, and business topics as I deliver them to you in bite-sized, fluff-free episodes every week. Welcome to Be the Boss. I am Tasha Cavaco, and this is episode 4. Today, we're talking about baby steps. Following your intuition before it makes sense. Before we know the end destination, following it, trusting ourselves. Taking action steps daily is something we talk about a lot. We're going to continue to talk about a lot on here because it is crucial to the moving forward, the momentum, and an action step justifies and internalizes that you're trusting your intuition. You might be called into, taking some grounded action steps every day. The saying we've heard or we've said it before is, I feel it in my bones. My soul is calling me. We use these phrases all the time, and whether we actually take action on them is an entirely different thing. So, start where you are and build on that consistently, intentionally, and with purpose on a daily basis. So many people stop themselves from filling their soul's desire. They don't listen, to Creator. They don't listen to God. They don't listen to their internal, what it's saying. Our body tells us so many things and we often ignore it. For most, it could be because they are wanting to know the destination before they actually take the first step. Instead of listening to your intuition and having faith, they go in the opposite direction. And instead of just trusting the process, they need to know the destination before that first step. I remember looking at a picture when I was younger. And it was of this staircase, and I believe it was possibly at a church, or maybe somebody in my family had this picture, but it was of a staircase and it was all lit up, and at the end it was just light. It was just bright light at the end of the staircase. And I just thought it was the most beautiful picture. And then at the bottom it said that faith is taking the first step before you can see the whole staircase. That's what we're talking about here. Is just taking that step day after day before you see the entire staircase. Before you know the end destination, the end result, because ultimately, we're never going to know that. So if we know internally, we're never going to know that, and it's going to take us trusting our intuition and having faith. Why aren't we doing this consistently? Our soul is always calling us. Listen to your soul's baby calls. It's whispers. Every day you hear them if you just listen. Take grounded action in the direction and have gut-rooted faith where you can feel the faith in your bones. Opt for consistency over urgency. Again, I'll say that again because it's just so good. Opt for consistency over urgency. The reason I say it's so good is because this is something that I struggle with. I like to go, multitask, know exactly what's happening, and then see the results right away, and then I'll backtrack and start to overthink things, get in a thought loop, overanalyze, and then I lose my consistency. I don't see the result. It's been a week. I've worked out. I've done a new meal planning. Why? Why hasn't it worked? I put out some content. I did all these new things in marketing and made a website, and nobody went to it. Why? I need to do consistency over urgency. I need to fight that internal battle within myself and trust in my consistency. We do not need to have it all figured out before we start. Heck, most of my planned journeys took twists and turns all over the place. Where I thought the path would lead me, it took me in a whole different direction. Where I thought that a training would take me, or a course, or investment, it took me in an entirely different direction than what I thought that investment was going to take me. But that different direction took me to more exciting destinations. Many times we worry about getting to CEO and analyzing every way, every action, every part, every title until we get there. Instead, we should be acting as a CEO with our thoughts and actions now in this moment. Being and embodying the CEO. Fill in the blank if CEO is something different for you. But embodying that. So when the day comes that we get to that place we want, we've already been here for so long, there doesn't need to be a transitional period. We've been embodying that. We've been doing that. We've been taking responsibility as that. So it's a seamless transition into this goal. So what is your end goal? For me, in my business, it's hitting this certain title, so to say, this plan where I will receive $10,000 every month. Yes, every month, $10,000 for the rest of my life. And it's also willable. So this is something that, for me, it may not be CEO, but it is this title that gets me to a point to where I get to get $10,000 in my name for myself until the day I die. And then I get to will this to my family or whoever I so choose. One of my children, all my children. But what does that look like? What does that point of my company and my business, what does that look like today? What does that look like in my actions? Is it calls, meetings, trainings, social media platforms, websites? What does that look like? Once I'm at that point with a team, what does that look like? And you say, well, I don't have a business or a team now. Well, you will. So what are you going to have laid out for your team already? What are the things and tools that you're going to just, once that team is in place, you just pivot them this way and say, look, here's all these things that I already have laid out for your success on my team. What does your end goal look like? What would you have to be doing, or what would those responsibilities be for your end destination? Whatever those are, whatever that end result is, whether you have a team under you or not, what do you need to do to embody that now? I know it seems silly to create all these things, when the team isn't there, when the business isn't there, when the space for the business isn't there. If that's something that you're needing a space. But I promise you, getting it all together now, so when it's ready, when life, your journey, your path puts that in your path, you're ready for it. There's nothing more you need to do because you've already been doing it. You've already been embodying it. You've already been taking on this responsibility for it, that it's just this seamless transition to moving into the space, to getting that team underneath you, to having all that freedom. You don't have to know every single step along the way before you set out on your journey. You just need to take the next step day after day. Take those baby steps consistently, daily, and listen to your soul's baby calls and whispers. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and start embodying it now. Thank you for listening to Be the Boss. Don't forget to subscribe. I wouldn't be in this place in life if I didn't take the leap and start my business with the magic. If you're interested in taking that leap or want to tap into an amazing community of like-minded entrepreneurs that decided to be their own boss, I will sponsor you for a month free for you to tap in and see what it's all about and have a lifelong business at your fingertips. That's it for now. Love and light. Tasha.